So hello everyone and happy end of 2024 from my garage. Today we're going to do a little bit of a toolbox tour. This has been my setup for the last few years, and I'm actually doing this review today because I am actually going to be retooling everything to go into more of the 4-drawer packouts. I now have 3 of these, and there's going to be that, and that, and I'm going to make a working top, and it's basically going to be a mobile workbench. The reason I like the Packout stuff is because I can disassemble this, put it in the back of the pickup truck, take it to wherever I need it, whether it be on the race car or on the truck somewhere not in my yard. And it takes about 5 minutes to disassemble, 5 minutes to set up again, and then all my tools and stuff are ready, organized, and good to work on the truck. So we'll start with this stack right here. This top drawer is a thing that a lot of people seem to forget about. An outfit. It's nice to actually work. I have a pair of coveralls there, foam knee pads, a respirator for when I'm doing a whole bunch of grinding or welding or something with stuff that you don't really want in your lungs. I ended up, one of the preps for the race, they ended up just throwing a whole bunch of paper towels in there, and I haven't really cleared it out. It's kind of convenient having them there. I also have a bunch of safety glasses for everyone if they need it. Right here is my hat to hold back my hair from working underneath the truck. A pair of safety glasses, of course. Nothing worse than having stuff drop in your eye as you're under the truck working on stuff. And then this little Milwaukee headlamp. It actually works quite well, except for the fact that it burns through batteries. It eats AAA batteries. This side is gloves and some waterless hand cleaner. If we go down to the next drawer here, this is the miscellaneous drawer. This is one of the more popular go-to drawers. Some of it was organized a little bit after I planned everything else out, and it's like I need a place to put some stuff. So there's new batteries here. I have 6 rechargeable AA's and 6 rechargeable AAA's, and the charger is just on the workbench over there. There's 4 more charging right now. Those kind of the AAA's, I rotate through that headlamp in there. Right now it just has regular AAA batteries, and it lasts longer with the regular batteries, but it's not rechargeable, so you end up burning through a bunch of batteries. At some point I'll have to clear out this used battery thing, but it's not too bad right now. These magnetic trays I end up using all the time. Tape measure used all the time. This light I don't use too much now that I have the headlamp for the most things, but you're always missing Sharpies, pens, little magnets for picking up stuff. I think there's a grease pencil in there. Yeah, there's a grease pencil there. This is the punch thing for these chisels and punches that I put in kind of as an afterthought, just because I didn't have anywhere else to put it. It doesn't really make sense for it to be in the miscellaneous drawer. It should be in with like hammers or something like that, but it's up here. This spot here is just kind of empty. I have another couple magnets there, I guess, but it's ready for future expansion if anything ever fits in there. So this drawer is specialty tools, cleaning tools, and blades and cutters. So for specialty tools, we have, come on. This guy, pair of calipers. I I don't think it actually turns on anymore. Yeah, the batteries never last in those things. I need to get a pair of manual ones. But as for everything else in this drawer, it's just seal pullers and specialty tools that are needed for like a once-off job. This is a homemade little brake tool for the rear brakes on the car. And then an assortment of inner and outer snap ring pliers. I ran into that with the Fiat. Is the rear axle has a snap ring that's in behind the actual axle, so you have about that much room to get the pliers in and snap it and take it out. So that's why I've always had snap ring pliers with me. These are just basically picks, little cleaning tools and stuff. I do want to have them a little bit better organized than that, but it's not the worst right now. This is an empty Coke can that I fill up with gasoline, and there's a toothbrush here that you can scrub down little parts, like if you're cleaning a carburetor and you need to dissolve some stuff, you put some cleaner in there, scrub her down, and it's good to go. There should actually be a little bit more sandpaper in this too, but I've run out. And then this is all just kind of blades and cutters, you know, for cutting things, blading things. I'm actually short one of my yellow ones. Huh. Okay. This drawer here, zip ties, stethoscope, another one of those additions that I figured I might need the tool, but I haven't actually really used it all that much. And glues and tapes. So this is zip ties. You always need zip ties for different jobs and stuff. This is the stethoscope that I almost never use. Some of the glues and tapes, the glue stuff ended up in here, but some of the things are too big for that, so they've spilled over into this drawer, and then tapes and stuff like that. Yeah, that'll get better organized, I hope so. The next pack out down here is electrical tools and electrical supplies and stuff. This is one of those drawers that I haven't really gotten to organize as much as I would like. It's mostly for when I have electrical faults, like I had in the truck earlier today. Light cords corroding and losing connection. So there's a pair of cutters down there, automatic wire strippers. These things are awesome, but I just wish there was kind of an all-in-one tool that had that kind of clamping motion instead of the twist and pull off like regular wire strippers, which are actually in here. Torch, dielectric grease, heat gun for melting the shrink wrap. That torch is good for when there's no electrical supply. Some crappy multimeter, which has actually failed on me at the last race, so I'm looking to replace this with something a little bit better. Electrical tape. There's a test light in there too. See, it's a mess, and everything's on top of each other, so if you're looking for a specific tool, it's hard to find. This drawer is not much better. I have the shrink wrap, 4 different sizes of shrink wrap, all the way from medium, small, to actually the next one's extra large. It's in there somewhere. Anyways, this all, yeah, I'd like to reorganize it. I want to take all these little eyelets, and I have like butt splices and stuff. I want to get those organizer dividers to put them all in, but I'm worried if this thing tips or something like that, they're all gonna go all over the place, whereas one of these organizers would probably be a better fit for that kind of stuff. But if everything else is in a drawer and that's not, like, you have to disassemble the whole thing to get to that one, so I don't really want to do that for electrical stuff. So I'm gonna do some thinking for what to organize with that, and same thing with the wires and stuff. I have extra fuses, battery cable ends, and a whole bunch of wire. This is all just cheap 12 gauge Princess Auto wire that I'm sure will corrode like no tomorrow because it's all cheap stuff, and I really can't find good electrical repair supplies and replacements. So if you have any recommendations for working with 12-volt electrical stuff, let me know. If we go to the middle stack here, we'll start at the top. It's the 106-piece Milwaukee Packout socket set. And this thing is nice, organized, and I end up using it quite often. I have the power tools down there, but this ends up just being so useful, even if it is just with hand tools. The thing I've found interesting about this, though, is that in the warmer temperatures, everything just kind of pops right out as you need it. But when it gets cold, the plastic must freeze up or something, and it gets really hard to actually pick up some of the tools out of these things. Like, these get really lodged in there. You have to pull out something else to kind of pop them out of place. Like, I actually kind of expected better than that, but it's only when it's cold. When it's warm, it's fine. So the next drawer down is the grinder. Now, this is the only one that I can actually lift up the top without having to disassemble everything, because that kit stays together. But this was actually designed for one of my corded grinders to slide in there, where it just snuck in right there, and then the cord would wind up right there. But this is the cordless one, which ends up, if we're going out to work on the car, we don't necessarily have access to power at the racetrack. So having the cordless grinder for little jobs is useful, but always a good idea to have ear protection. In here is another set of safety glasses, and mostly grinding discs and cutting discs with a couple different ones in there. But this is all designed that if I need to go out somewhere and do a grinding job, you just disconnect the Packout, take it by the handle, you can wave it around, do whatever, and everything stays in place, and you can get all your grinding stuff done with just the one kit. This one is SAE bolts. I don't want to disconnect it, like disassemble everything just to show it. It's just some bolts and organizers. This is some like random stuff. You know what? I'm going to take these apart and I'll show you that one. See, this is why I like the drawers. You don't have to take things apart to access the stuff. This is mostly just assorted washers, assorted O-rings. I have a whole kit of O-rings in the back of the garage there somewhere. But these are just emergency use O-rings. Pipe clamps, other pipe clamps, smaller pipe clamps. These are little caps of various sizes to put on different things that need capping. I have springs and stuff in here, which I have yet to actually use any of them in the last few years. Cotter pins, use those quite a bit. Self-tapping screws, 1, self-tapping screws 2. What is this? Oh, this used to be where I put assorted fuses and stuff, but now it's in electrical. Actually, yeah, these are washers. They need to go in the washer drawer. And then carabiner clips. End up using these quite a bit. But yeah, this is just random supplies that you end up needing to replace on a job or use on a job, and it's just there. I'm not putting that back right now. So this drill drawer is actually one of the ones that I've started to retool already. I mean, this stuff was in there. It was a mess, but I had the drill, some other stuff too. Actually, yeah, I retooled it to put it in a 3-drawer pack out like this. This used to be wrenches, but now it's laid out to have the die grinders, the drill, and the filer. I don't know if this is exactly where I'm going to keep everything before cutting out the foam to do it. And then this is just drill supplies. But that used to all be in a 2-drawer, and I do think it is much nicer in a 3-drawer. This is a tap and die set that will be put into a different organizer now because I think this 2-drawer is coming out of the stack. Oh, and then Allen keys. This is an afterthought that I added in. There was nowhere else to put them, so this will get put into somewhere else by the end. That Packout on the bottom right now currently is empty because I'm not unstacking everything to get to that. But the wheels, like the track width on that one, is just the standard starter set Packout, is so much nicer than the dolly cart that this is all sitting on. Because if we look at the back, you have that much space for the wheels, whereas the dolly cart, the wheels are squished in right there. They should be like out there. So this thing is tippy. It falls over all over the place when you're going over rough terrain. This whole snap through the plastic stuff at the back, but I just use it to put the longer items. I do want to make an organizer on top to put down each specific item so they all have a home. I just haven't got around to doing that yet. But the cart allows you to put stuff right on the bottom. This is the Packout radio. This is a newer edition, so I actually have music in the shop. It's kind of nice. And then this is the whatever you call it, the cabinet. Yeah, that stores all the paints and consumable aerosols like brake clean. This is one of those new cans that don't actually do anything and smells terrible. I've run out of the old stuff. So now we get into the most used Packout stack of this thing. So we'll start up at the top. These are wrenches. It's just a crappy Harbor Freight set of wrenches, but I needed something that would go up to 1.25 inches for all the big bolts on the truck, and this was the only kit at a decent price that would do it. So I am going to upgrade these wrenches at some point, but I have all the SAE on top, and then can pull out the tray, and I have the metric on the bottom. So it's nice having them all organized. And again, if you need wrenches and you just need it for the job, you can undo the Packout, take it wherever you need, and it's all organized and all in place. You can grab it by the handle, flop it around all over the place, and the wrenches stay put. I actually did have this Packout in the back of the pickup truck on top of a stack of different Packouts, and it wasn't actually clipped in. So when I went around the corner, it slipped off the back, down onto the pavement, scraped across the road. I got a couple little scrapes there, and some of these clips broke off on the top layer. But other than that, the thing is indestructible. It survived beautifully. So I am very impressed with the durability of these things. So as stated before, this is now the drill stuff kind of set up in the new setup. These used to be specialty wrenches and ratcheting wrenches. They're actually transferred over to the 4-drawer. This is going to be for standard wrenches. But then, yeah, it's just ratcheting wrenches and kits. Again, I haven't really set it up yet. Yeah. So that's in progress. But then finally, down to the most used drawers. This is screwdrivers. There's straight slot, Phillips, and then other, including Robertson's, which in Canada, square tip, use them all the time. Way better than Phillips. Get used to it, America. So this is the Pliers drawer. It's one of the first shots I had with the organizer foam. These are my most commonly used pliers, so they got in the foam and just placed in place. And then I have a full set of Milwaukee vice grips, and then these little channel lock pliers, 2 of them, big and small. This is actually a Knipex side cutters, and I'm going to replace this one with that, but I need to redo the foam, so it'll get redone when it goes into some of the 4-drawer ones. It's just sitting out here for now. This organizer type thing is good in theory, but not great in practice. Because if you have more than one of these, even if you just have one, these things slide around and work their way loose. So you go and try to put it back in, and it doesn't go in. You have to mess around with it a whole bunch. So you could probably put some silicone in the bottom on the tracks to keep them in place, but I think I might try to do something a little bit better next time. These are bigger channel lock pliers for like oil filters and that kind of stuff. And then super long reach needle nose pliers for if you're working in an engine bay and you need to get to something way down in there. Yeah. That kind of stuff, you know? But the foam makes it so easy to just grab what you need, do your thing, and then put back in place. And you can also see when something is missing. That's the most important thing. This one is also using the foam. It is the heavy tools drawer. So I have the hammer, gets used all the time. 1 pry bar. This is actually put in there before I put more pry bars in back behind there. Adjustable wrench for all the really big bolts and stuff that these wrenches won't do. And then 2 of the extra vice grips that came in the kit that wouldn't fit in the divider in that drawer. And then we get down to the big boy stuff, power tools and sockets. So this is by far and large the most commonly used drawer in this whole thing. I have the high torque impact wrench, the stubby impact wrench, the long handle powered ratchet. These are all kind of the extensions and stuff. They were, after the fact, I didn't have anywhere else to put them in here, so I cut out a little thing and just kind of plopped them in there. I would like to be able to have a specific spot for each of them, but that was just not in the cards for this this iteration of Packout organization. This next drawer, the sockets though, is nice and organized. So I have SAE at the front, metric at the back. You'll notice that some of these sockets are color coded and they're all done by popular sizes. So at the back, 10 mil is in white. So everything white is a 10 mil. It makes it really easy to find the 10 mils, and then you can just put it right back in place. 13s are yellow, so 13s all over the place. This one's actually used so much that the paints are worn off. I am missing a 14 mil, which drives me crazy. Pink is 17 mil, again, used very often. The one thing with this kit though is that it skips sizes. So for example, I have 10 mil, 11, 13, no 12, and then 14. No, this is a 14. What are you? 12. Somebody didn't put these back right. Okay. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17. There's no 15 or 16. It just goes straight to 17, 18, 19, 20, 22. And 24. So it skips sizes, which is aggravating for the few times that you actually need the size in between. So I'm thinking I'm going to be replacing these sockets at some point. Still have the same kind of organization layout, but with a better socket kit. Because yeah, also like a lot of these, that one's not too bad, but some of these are starting to mushroom out. Just because they are cheap sockets. So I probably will replace the sockets at some point. But these sets on the edges are 12-point sockets that go up to the really big sizes that I always need on the truck. Like this will be 1.25 inches. Yeah, that's 1.25 inches. And they're 12 points. There are actually quite a few 9/16 12-point bolts on the Peterbilt that I end up needing to use these ones for. But the rest are all just kind of, yeah, it's there. Yeah. So there we go. Whoops, that's still not back up there. But that's my little toolbox tour of 2024, end of 2024. Stay tuned for later, because over the next couple months, I'll be working on retooling all these things with different organizers, taking a crack at redoing some of the foam things. If you have any suggestions or things to do differently, let me know, and I will see about doing it in the next iteration. Thanks for watching.